So life as a Bolton fan has been nothing but hell for the last 12 years. We went from Premier League to League 2 in just 10 seasons. And we also went 30 minutes from going out of business until our guardian angel, the one and only Sharon Britton, came in and saved our football club. Now the club are back on the right track. We're fighting for promotion back to the Championship. We've got a brilliant young manager in Ian Evatt and a fantastic squad consisting of players like Dion Charles, George Thomason, Rico Santos, Kyle Dempsey. We are going to jump into EAFC and rebuild Bolton Wanderers, my team, take us from League 1 to the Champions League final, and I want you to join me on that journey. If you enjoy this type of content, lads, please make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel, as I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers before the end of EAFC 24. Let's jump into EAFC, boys, and start this Bolton Wanderers rebuild. So we've jumped into EAFC, lads, and this is how we've set the Bolton Wanderers team up. We've changed the formation a little bit to a 3-4-1-2. We've got Mendes Gomez and Dacres Cogley playing as wingers instead of wing backs. Ian Evatt likes to use wing backs in real life. We've got one of the strongest squads in League 1, boys. Players like Nathan Baxter, Ricardo Santos and Dion Charles. That should be more than enough to win the league title. And that is exactly what the board want us to do. They aren't messing about. They want us to win the League 1 title this season and reach the FA Cup round of 16. Now, because it's season 1, the first summer transfer window is disabled, so we cannot sign any players until January. Now, in real life, Ian Evatt likes to play possession-based football with Bolton Wanderers, so we are going to use the tiki-taka tactical vision because I personally am a massive, massive fan of how Ian Evatt sets his teams up. We want to replicate that over into the EAFC, but I want to put my own twist on it. We've also promoted Sommer, Cadleck and Boyd to the senior team because they have got really, really good potential, and we could even potentially send them out on loan in January. When we do get to January, lads, we will have £3 million to spend. Now, without further ado, boys, we are going to simulate forward to January the 1st, and hopefully we are at the top of the League 1 table. So we're out January the 1st, lads, and we are 3rd in the league. Not exactly the best start to the season, lads. We have got one of the best goal differences in the entire league, though. We're only 3 points off the automatics. We're going to have to improve, though, if we are going to sneak into the automatics and get automatic promotion this season. But some really solid growth, though, around the entire squad, lads. Santos, Baxter, Mendes Gomez and Adebayo, the main rowers in the side. But, lads, I've found an attacking midfielder that I really want to sign, and it's Kawan Porku from Peterborough United. If you are an EFL fan in real life, you will know this guy is absolutely incredible, so I'd love to be able to bring him into Bolton Wanderers.
12 seconds later.
Oh, lads, we just didn't have enough money to bring Porku in to the drawing board. I really wanted to get that one over the line as well. Where one door closes, another one opens. We have found free agent Matthew Garbutt at 6'7" rated and 21-year-old. We're going to go in for him, lads, and bring him into Bolton Wanderers. So it's a done deal, boys. The first signing of this Bolton Wanderers rebuild is Australian midfielder Matthew Garbutt. And there's only one rate in the board to give him that one, an A. We have just spent 2.3 million on a youth scout who has got 5-star experience and 4-star judgment. He will bring us in the next generation of Bolton legends. And with all our budget gone, lads, it's time to press on now and simulate to the end of the season. So we have arrived at the end of season 1, lads, and as you can see, we have won the League 1 title. We are back in the Championship as Bolton Wanderers. This is how the squad is looking at the end of the season, lads, and as you can see, Mendes, Gomez, Adebayo, Morley, Johnston, Santos and Baxter all had excellent seasons and grew massively. So Reading are the other side promoted with us, and Derby County beat Charlton 1-0 in the playoff final. They will be in the Championship as well next season. The FA Cup was won by Liverpool. They beat Man City in the final. Carabao Cup won by Manchester United. The EFL Trophy was won by Charlton. I actually wanted to win this, lads. I've never won it on career mode yet. It's a long way off, but the Champions League was won by Bayern Munich. Man City won the Europa League, beating Roma 4-1, and Atletico Bilbao beat Fiorentina 2-1 to win the Conference League. Now, in terms of stats, lads, Dion Charles was absolutely incredible, lads. 34 goals and 12 assists. I am praying that he carries this over into real life and Bolton get promoted this season. Big Vic got 25 and 10. Mendes Gomez 15 and 9. Dempsey 11 and 4. Then it really falls off after that, boys. And just to let you know, boys, Cameron Jerome will be retiring finally after a long career, and John Daddy Bodvarsson will be leaving the club. He's joined Girona on a free transfer. Now let's get into season 2, lads, and let's attack the Championship. So we're in season 2, lads, and we have got a whopping £12 million to spend this summer. And it's also worth remembering, lads, we've got a lot of contracts to renew this summer, so we'll have to, that is going to take up a lot of our budget. And there we have it, lads. We have finally got our man. Kwame Poku is a Bolton Wanderers player, and we have spent £2.5 million to acquire Poku's services. And I weren't lying when I said we've got a lot of contracts to renew, lads. Just look at how many players need new deals. A lot of our budget could actually go here. So, lads, the objectives this season have been very, very kind to us. We just want to finish mid-table in Championship, and it's only low priority. The high priority stuff is just developing youth players, which is easily done. And they want us to get 10 wins in the league, which I'm very sure that we can do. We have made our first sale of the summer, lads. Randall Williams has joined Atlanta United for 700k. We have made our second signing of the summer, boys. Alfonso Diaz joins us from the free agents list. 19-year-old, 69 rated. He's going straight into our starting lineup. So the signings of Poku and Diaz definitely make the middle of the park stronger for us. We just need a right midfielder, then I'm happy, lads, and I'm happy to call that a day this summer. Lads, we had to make a decision. We got a big bid coming for George Thomason of £1.3 million, lads, and we just had to accept it. He has left the club to Rakow, and that has increased increased our budget to £10 million. So I am looking to bring in a really, really high quality right midfielder with the remaining transfer budget that we have. But a few more outgoings to keep you updated on, lads. Wolfsburg at AC have signed Declan John for 450 grand, and Radek Kadlec, our youth academy player, has gone out on loan for the season. Lads, when I said I wanted to use a large chunk of our budget bringing in a top quality right midfielder, I have done just that. You are going to love this right midfielder who I brought in. Well, you'll love it if you're a Championship fan anyway. Tyrese Doolan is joining Bolton Wanderers for £4.5 million from local rivals Blackburn Rovers. Doolan slots in gorgeously on the right side of our midfield, and his stats are frightening, lads. 22-year-old, 72 rated. He could be a future star for this career mode. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We have received a £2.1 million offer from Alves for Dion Charles. Now, if any Bolton fans are watching this, you might want to look away. I know how much we all love Dion. He's so influential in that Bolton team, but at 28-year-old, 70 rated, I'm going to have to accept £2.1 million for him. I know the search begins to bring in Dion Charles' replacement. That is a sight I just do not want to see in real life. Dion Charles has left Bolton Wanderers for £2.1 million. And me being the absolute idiot I am, I've sold him on August 26th, so I don't even have time to scout and replacement. We have got £6 million to bring in Dion Charles' replacement, so we should be able to get a really good replacement, to be fair. And boys, after working tirelessly to bring in a Charles replacement, I think we've just used the money perfectly. We've signed a young, hungry and very, very high potential striker from a fellow Championship rival. We have signed Tyrese Campbell from Stoke City for £4 million, and Campbell at 2 overalls higher rated than Charles. What, 4 years younger? That is a major, major replacement, and look at how good our squad now is looking going into season 2. I think we could genuinely push for a mid-table finish this season, and we've only got £1 million of our budget remaining, so we're going to be using that money for contracts and bringing in youth players, boys. So we're going to be simulating forward now to January, and hopefully we're steady in mid-table. We've arrived at January the 1st, lads, and surprisingly, lads, we're actually sitting 11th in the Championship. We're having a really, really good go at the league this season. We are a whole 13 points clear relegation zone as well, so it looks like we're going to be in for just a mid-table obscurity season. The team on paper, lads, looks really, really strong now. Every single player in the starting 11 is over 70 rated, and Nathan Baxter has grown to 74 rated. He looks incredible. There is something I just want to point out though. Sommer is out on loan at Sampdoria, and he has grown by 7 overalls. He's now 69 rated, and Nathan Baxter's contract does expire next summer. I'm thinking I'm probably not going to renew Nathan Baxter's contract, and when next summer comes, Sommer will be something like 70 plus rated. He can be our first choice goalkeeper. And I just have to show you 2 of the players we've got in our academy. Aaron Brewer, centre back, 16-year-old, 63 rated. He's got 83 to 93 potential. He's one player being promoted to the senior team right now. We've also got 15-year-old Michael Austin, who's 61 rated, 83 to 93 potential. He could be the next Jussi Askelainen here at Bolton Wanderers. But before we do simulate the end of the season, lads, I'm just going to let you know every single player you can see here, Nathan Baxter, Coleman, Sheehan, Carter, Iredale and Jones, will all be being released from Bolton Wanderers. They're no longer good enough, and we've got better youth prospects coming up to replace Baxter. In fact, lads, I've had a bit of a brainwave. I've actually renewed Nathan Baxter's contract because I'm going to sell him at the start of next season to boost our funds so we can bring in some more players, and Sommer can become our first choice goalkeeper while we're in the process of selling Baxter. We've only got 543k available, boys. That means we will not be bringing anyone in this January transfer window, so as a thing stands, we are just simulating forward to the end of the season. Got a quick outgoing for you, boys. Aaron Brewer has joined Watford for the rest of the season on loan. And the final piece of transfer news for this January transfer window, lads, is Jack Iredale has joined, however you pronounce that, on a pre-contract to the end of the season. So we've reached the end of the season, lads, and we finished 9th in the Championship on 69 points, finishing 8 points outside of the playoff places. So we actually had a really good season in all. The team on paper is looking very, very strong. Poku and Doolan being the standouts in terms of growth. Campbell grew by 2 as well, and Diaz grew by 4. He's now 72 rated. Our academy players who went out on loan have grown massively. Tony Sommer is now 71 rated, and he's going to be our first choice goalkeeper next season. The FA Cup was won by Everton. They beat Tottenham 3-2. Arsenal won 8-7 on penalties against Man City in an entertaining Carabao Cup final. The Championship playoffs won by Leeds United. They beat Southampton 3-0, and they are back in the Premier League. Still a long way off, but Bayern Munich beat AC Milan 1-0 to win the Champions League. Chelsea beat Getafe to win the Europa League, and Aston Villa beat Lazio to win the Europa League. So in terms of stats, lads, it's clear to see that we struggled for goals this season. Our top scorer being Tyrese Campbell with 15, Carlos Mendes Gomez tripping in with 12. We have really, really struggled for goals this season. Some departures you should know about as well. Joel Coleman will be joining Ascoli when the transfer window opens, and Josh Sheehan will be joining Dapwa for Lyon at St. Pauli. So all in all, lads, that's a very, very successful first season back in the Championship. Now next season the objective is try to get into them playoffs. So we're into season 3, boys, and we have got £11 million to spend. And looking at the squad on paper, lads, we definitely need a centre back to replace Owen Toll, and do you know what, I'd probably go for a striker as well to replace Victor Adebayo. Just did not get the goals for us last season. We have made our first signing of season 3, and it is an absolute banger from the big 6 in the Premier League. We have brought in David Washington from Chelsea for 5.8 million. Washington joins us for 5.8 million, so we got him below his market value. He's 20-year-old, 73 rated, and an exciting prospect. He could be an amazing signing for Bolton. We've made our second signing of the summer, boys, bringing in Owen Toll's replacement, 19-year-old Edgar Mendes from the free agents. He is 71 rated. We've also got some outgoings to update you on. Matthew Gerbert has joined Trabzonspor for 3.45 million. Josh Daquez Cogley has joined Leuven for 1 million. And academy graduate Dylan Saunders has joined Huesca on a season-long loan. Lads, we have made our third signing of the summer, lads, and this is an absolute belter. We have brought in Harry Darling from Swansea City for 3.3 million. Darling is 73 rated, 25-year-old, and a left footer, so he slots in beautifully on the left side of our defence. And lads, we have just changed Jimmy Boyd from a left back to a left midfielder, and he's jumped up 6 overalls to 70 rated. He could actually become our new starting left midfielder at some point this season. We are also going to be promoting Michael Austin and Archie Norton to the first team, and they'll be going out on loan this season. The summer of whole-scale changes is continuing, lads. Nathan Baxter has joined Braga for 3.4 million. So, boys, we have made our fourth signing of the summer, and it's some very much needed depth in the right midfielder position. We have brought in Cisse Sandra from the free agents list. He's 21, 70 rated, and he's going on our bench for the season. So we've got 4 outgoings to bring you up to date too, lads, and these were the last outgoings of the transfer window. Michael Austin has joined Casapia on a season-long loan. Archie Norton has joined FC Voluntari on a season-long loan. Will Forrester has joined Watford for 900k, and Radek Kadlec has joined Swansea on a season-long loan. Now, lads, we're at deadline day, and we do need at least 2 centre midfielders, and we've only got £6 million. Probably going to have to bring 1 free agent in and spend the rest of our £6 million budget on a marquee centre midfielder. Boys, we have just made an absolutely massive addition to our midfield ranks, and this is the most money we've spent on a player so far in this career mode. We have brought in Jason Knight from Bristol City for 4.6 million. We've only got £550,000 remaining, lads, so that is us done in this transfer window. We're now going to be simulating forward to January the 1st, and hopefully we are pushing for them playoff positions. So we've arrived at January the 1st, lads, and as you can see, we are in the playoffs, sitting 5th in the league, and we've actually got quite a big 5-point gap from 7th place Millwall. We're having a really good season so far. The squad is growing nicely, and as you can see, I've took Ricardo Santos and Carlos Mendes Gomez out and put 2 academy graduates in, Jim Boyd and Anton Brewer. Now, we only have 525k available, lads, so we won't be bringing anyone in this January transfer window. Now, we do have 3 players out of contract in the season: Santos, Johnston, Dempsey and Unlundalu. They've all hit the peak, really, and they're all only 70s or low 60s. So, lads, I've decided to renew Santos's and George Johnston's contracts, but I am going to be letting Kyle Dempsey and Dan Unlundalu go at the end of the season because I just cannot afford to give them new contracts. We've only got 130k of our transfer budget available while we have done some spending this season. Lads, we have had a huge bid come in from Brighton for Carlos Mendes Gomez, £5.4 million. Obviously, Boyd's dislodged him from the starting 11, so we're going to accept it, lads, and we could have a major boost to our transfer kit. And what's sad for me as a Bolton fan is looking at that team, literally none of it is the current Bolton starting 11, but I knew that was going to happen as it is a rebuild, and not many survivors from the actual Bolton squad are still with us. We have made a deadline day signing, boys. We have bought in free agent Manu Rico. He's 6'7" rated, 23-year-old, and he's just a backup to Boyd for the rest of the season. And that is the end of our transfer window, lads. We are going to be simulating forward now to the end of the season, and let's see if we manage to keep our place in the playoffs. So we've reached the end of the season, lads, and as you can see, we finished 5th in the Championship, finished on 82 points, setting up a playoff tie with Watford. Brighton and Southampton were promoted back to the Premier League. Brighton got 103 points this season, and we've already played the first leg of our playoff semi-final. We got a 3-2 win at home to Watford. We are going to be simulating that game now, and hopefully we are going to Wembley. We win 2-0, lads. We're going to Wembley. We are in the playoff final, and lads, we have got Blackburn Rovers in the Championship playoff final. That is a massive local derby for Bolton. Boys, it is Championship playoff final time against Blackburn Rovers. Oh my god, I am nervous. I'm not even going to look, lads. I'm not even going to look. Yes, lads, we beat Blackburn in the playoff final. We are in the Premier League with Bolton. And lads, looking at the starting 11, boys, we definitely need to bring in a centre-back who is better than Brewer. So it's taken us 3 seasons to get Bolton from League 1 to the Premier League. Let's kick on this career mode now in the Premier League. But before we go to the Premier League, lads, we've got to get through the cup winners. Everton yet again with another trophy, beating City 4-2 in the FA Cup final. Arsenal beat City again in the Carabao Cup final. City lost 2 finals. That is not like that. The Champions League was won by Man City, though they finally won a final. They beat Atletico Madrid 2-1. Liverpool beat Arsenal 2-1 in an all-English Europa League final, and Newcastle United won the Conference League, so the all-English sides won in the European competitions, total domination. And it's clear to see who our best player was this season. David Washington got 27 goals in 49 games, and really, lads, other than Campbell and Adebayo, there's not really a lot of contributions from the rest of the squad. So we are into season 4, lads, and we have got £63 million to spend this season. I do think we could probably do with a better player than Tyreek Campbell. He's 26-year-old and only 75 rated, so I think we might even be looking to bring his replacement in. So we have made our first signing of the summer, my boys, and it is an absolute coup from the free agents list. We have brought in Hannibal Mejbri on a free contract on a 4-year deal. He's 75 rated, 23-year-old, and he's going straight into our starting lineup. And just to let you know, boys, Kyle Dempsey and Dan Unlundell have both left the club on free contracts. Now, lads, if you watch my FIFA 23 rebuilds, you will know I absolutely love the free agent list because you can find some absolute gems on there, and we have done exactly that in EAFC 24. Lads, we have brought in Julian Sepulveda from the free agents list. He is 17 years old and 76 rated, and he's going straight into our starting 11. And lads, I can't lie, I'm really impressed with our back three looks at the minute. All very young players, 20, 17 and 26. That is a very, very youthful back three, and they're only going to grow and keep getting better. And that means that 18-year-old Anton Brewer will probably go out on loan this season. Boys, we've made our second signing of the summer, and we have brought in an established Premier League centre-back from Everton for just £17 million. We have brought in Jared Bramthwaite from Everton, 24 years old, 78 overall, and we've only paid £17 million for him. That is a great deal. Lads, we have just signed our first 80 rated player of the rebuild, and what a signing this is. We have signed former Everton player Yusuf Chermiti from Roma for £30 million. We have absolutely obliterated Bolton's record transfer, 22 years old, 80 rated. What a signing. And Chermiti slots in nicely at the side of Washington up front. And do you know what, lads? Looking at that team on paper, I actually am quite confident it could stay up this season. And that leaves us with £8 million, lads, so I don't think we'll be bringing any more players on a paid deal. We will be still looking for free agents, though, boys. And lads, we have received a £1.5 million offer for Ricardo Santos. Now, being a Bolton fan, I absolutely love Rico. He's 31 and 72 rated. He's never going to get a game this season. The best thing to do is just let him go and get some money for him. And I just want to thank the Premier League for giving us such an easy first game in the season. We have got Chelsea of all clubs. Thank you very much. And we have got quite a few outgoings to get through, so I'm going to run you through them right now, lads. Academy graduate Aaron Dixon has joined Southampton on loan. He grew by 13 overalls last season, so he is one to keep an eye on. Leon Richards joined Stade Lausanne on a season-long loan. So, lads, we did have a scour about looking for a centre attacking midfielder to bring in to replace Poku, but do you know what, lads? Don't really massively improve our team too much, so we're going to give Poku a chance this season. He's going to get a chance to keep that centre attacking midfielder position and make it his own. So we've rounded up January the 1st, lads, and as you can see, we're having an amazing season. We are 13th in the Premier League on 21 points, and we are 8 points clear of the relegation zone. We've actually won 6 games. I weren't expecting us to have such a good start. And lads, completely unbeknownst to me, Tyrese Campbell is joining PSV. While we've been simulating forward, they must have come in on a pre-contract and got him on literally the first day of the transfer window. Now, Victor Adebayo, Owen Toll and Aaron Morley are all out of contract. Do you know what, lads? I'm going to renew Aaron Morley's and Victor Adebayo's contract. You know, being a Bolton fan, I do actually want to keep some Bolton players at the club. Now, looking at the starting 11, boys, wow, we have now got 2 80-plus rated strikers in Chermiti and Washington. They are smashing it. We've had good growth from Bramthwaite, Darlin and Sepulveda as well. We have got £12 million, lads, but I don't really feel like we can bring anyone in with that kind of money to really drastically improve the starting 11. We're now going to simulate forward to the end of the season, and hopefully we have stayed in the Premier League. Lads, we've arrived at the end of the season, and we had an absolutely incredible first season back in the Premier League. We finished 13th in the Premier League. We finished a full 21 points clear of the relegation zone. We had an amazing season. We had some really solid growth, lads. We've actually got 80 rated players all across the board now. Sommer and Bramthwaite are both at 80 rated. Tottenham Hotspur won the FA Cup and they knocked us out in the semi-final. We were so close to our first cup final. Carabao Cup was won by Spurs again. The Champions League was won by Milan. Now we have got an eye on the Champions League because we're going to want to be qualifying for that soon. Europa League was won by Arsenal and the Conference League was won by Benfica. Now, in terms of stats, lads, Yusuf Chermiti was an excellent signing. He got 23 in 45. David Washington got 10 in 42. Victor Adebayo got 10 goals in 21 games. That is a great return. So let's simulate forward now, lads, to the next Premier League season, and hopefully we can start pushing towards them European places. Now, we've arrived in season 2, lads, and looking at the starting 11, lads, I wouldn't mind another centre midfielder and maybe even a left midfielder. I think Knight and Boyd need to be improved going into the next season. Now, we have got £61 million to make these transfers happen. That's pretty much the same as last season, and we'll definitely make it go a long way. And lads, we start the season off with an absolute raft of transfer offers. Wow. Just to let you know, boys, Owen Toll joined Las Palmas. We didn't renew his contract. So I'm going to bring you, lads, Aaron Morley has joined Bournemouth for £6 million. Very sad to see the Radcliffe Perlo leave Bolton. Ega Mendes has joined Brentford for £7 million. Jason Knight has joined Burnley for £7.2 million. And one of our academy graduates, Owen Warren, has joined Nice for £2 million. That takes our budget to £82 million, lads. We could bring in some serious talent with that money. So, lads, we have made our first signing of season 1 and we have not spent a penny. It is a free agent and it is a massive upgrade on Poku in the centre attacking midfield position. We have brought in Miguel Monsalve from the free agents list. He is 23 years old and 79 rated. What a signing that is. Lads, we've made another signing from the free agents list. We have brought in Blanco, a 19-year-old 73 rated striker. This is a replacement for Victor Adebayo. He'll be free to leave the club this season. So, boys, last season we conceded 75 goals in the Premier League, which is one of the reasons why we was in the bottom half of the table. So I thought a centre-back is priority this season, and we have brought in a 19-year-old wonder kid from Manchester United. We have signed Jacob Bower for just £16.5 million. Bower is 19 years old and 80 rated. What a signing this is. And look at the squad, lads. All I want to improve on now is probably left midfield and a new centre midfielder, and I'll be happy. And we've got £56 million of our transfer budget remaining to bring in a left midfielder and a centre midfielder. Lads, we have just used up the majority of our budget to bring in an absolute star in the left midfield position. We have signed Samuel Illing Jr. from Arsenal for £37.5 million. He is 81 rated and 23-year-old. What a signing this is for us. And that will unfortunately see academy graduate Boyd drop to the bench and Illing Jr. take his place in the starting 11. And once again, lads, the free agents list delivers. I've just found an absolute gem again, and I've literally got him for £2,000 a week. We have signed 17-year-old William Sanchez on a 5-year deal. Sanchez is 78 rated and 17 years old, and we are going to retrain him to either be a centre midfielder or centre back. Now, interestingly, lads, Sanchez is 6'6", so we are going to retrain him to be a centre back, and I think that will boost his overall up quite nicely. But in terms of incomings, lads, that is our transfer window done, as we only have £17 million available. We'll save that till January, and if a deal comes available in January, we'll take it. We're going to simulate forward now to January the 1st, and hopefully we are pressing for European football. So we have arrived at January the 1st, lads, and we are 10th in the Premier League. It's an improvement on last season, lads. The board wanted us to finish mid-table this season, and it does not get any more mid-table than 10th place, does it? The starting 11 now is starting to take serious shape, boys. We've had great growth from Sommer, Monsalve, Chermiti and Washington. I just feel like our centre midfield positions are quite weak this season. With us only having £15 million, I don't think we're going to make a major signing to our centre midfield position. So that'll probably be us till the end of the season. We'll save the £15 million for next season. We do have an outgoing though, lads. FC20 have signed George Johnson. He will join them at the start of next season. So yeah, lads, we're going to save this £15 million for next summer, and we are going to simulate forward now to the end of the season. So we've reached the end of the season, lads, and as you can see, we finished 11th in the Premier League. So we have met the board's objective of finishing mid-table. We were 12 points clear relegation, lads, which is a nice sign, and we was also 20 points adrift from European places, so there's quite a big gap to bridge before we're going to be challenging for them. Again, we've had excellent growth in starting 11, boys. Chermiti is now 86 rated, one of the best strikers in the Premier League. Sommer has grown to 84. It's just the centre midfielders, lads. We need to bring some centre midfielders in next season. Man City won the FA Cup, lads. They beat Fulham 2-1. The Carabao Cup was won by Chelsea. They beat Coventry 4-3 in the final. Leipzig won the Champions League. Benfica won the Europa League, and Feyenoord won the Conference League. Now, looking at the stats, lads, it's clear to see where we are struggling. Goals. We are really struggling for goals this season. David Washington got 23 and 42 again, and Chermiti got 14 and 41. But other than that, lads, no real major contributions from the rest of the team. So next season, the main signing I want is a midfielder who can score goals and add some goals to this team. And we've got £88 million to bring that midfielder in. Now, I'm in two minds. Do I split the budget in half and bring in two midfielders, or do I spend all that money on one world-class midfielder? So we have made our first signing of the summer, boys, and it is none other than Mohamed Salah's regen. Abdul Wahab Hassan, 18-year-old, 81 rated, 46 million transfer value, and he is come from the free agents list. So, boys, we have made our second signing of the summer, and we have paid £35 million to acquire a midfielder from the German league. We have signed Charlie Patino from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Patino's 83 rated, 24-year-old, and his stats are incredibly well-rounded. He's going straight into our starting 11. And that leaves us, lads, with £48 million to bring in another centre midfielder, and I know exactly what I'm going to go for. We have brought in Real Betis midfielder Arne Engels for £41 million. Engels is 83 rated like Patino, the same age as Patino at 24, and he is extremely well-rounded as well. And lads, just look at that starting 11 now. Every single player other than Sepulveda are over 80 rated, and we've got plenty of players who've massively cleared 80 rated as well. And the oldest player in that starting 11, lads, is Jared Brandthwaite, 26-year-old, meaning every single one of these players have got massive potential and could all maybe even hit 90 rated. And the signing of Engels leaves us with £3 million, lads. So without any outgoings, that is our transfer window done. So, lads, we've got some outgoings to bring you up to date with. Academy graduate Archie Norton joined Ajax for £4 million. Radek Kadlec joined Luton for £2 million. Evaristo Blanco, who we brought in on a free contract last year, has joined Espanyol for £7 million. Another academy graduate, Dylan Saunders, has gone out on loan. Guy we brought in last summer, William Sanchez, we've just sold him for £28 million, and he's out the door. So after renewing a few contracts, lads, we are actually left with £29 million. So maybe if the right player comes up, we could add one more player to the squad. We've got some more outgoings for you, boys. Manu Rico has joined Arauco for £1.6 million. Aaron Dixon has joined Leeds United on a season-long loan. Alfonso Diaz has joined PSG on a season-long loan. And we have just sold stalwart Harry Darling to Newcastle United for £15.4 million. Now that leaves us with £50 million. And you know what, lads? Looking at the starting 11, I think we could just do with another high-rated centre-back, probably to take Sepulveda's position, and then I'd be really happy with this squad. And lads, we have just made an absolutely insane signing to our centre-back department, and it is an absolute corker, this, boys. boys. We have brought in England international Mark Guaya from Leicester City for £41 million. 85 rated Guaya, and do you know what I like about him, lads? He's got 80 short pass, so he fits our tiki-taka system. And now this is going to be the starting 11 that takes us into the new season, and I'm absolutely buzzing with that team, lads, and I think we could really push on for at least Europa League football this season. So looking at our budget, lads, we are broke. We've got £5 million left. We are going to be simulating forward now to January the 1st, and hopefully we are challenging for European football. Lads, we have arrived at January the 1st, and just look at that league table. We are top of the Premier League, and we've actually got a game in hand as well. We're having an amazing season. Now, looking at the squad, lads, we've had some amazing growth from the entire team. Chimity's almost 90 rated. Washington's 84. Now, we only have £5 million, lads, so we will not be signing anyone in this transfer window. We are going to be simulating forward now to end the season, and hopefully, I don't expect us to win the league, but we actually get top 4 and finish in the Champions League. So boys, we've reached the end of the season, and as you can see, we've actually qualified for the Champions League, finishing in 3rd position, 7 points clear of 5th. We did bottle winning the Premier League, but at least we're playing in the Champions League next season. So this is the squad that has got us into the Champions League, lads, and as you can see, Chimity is almost 90 rated. He's been incredible for us. I would like, however, a new centre-back in the new season to replace Bauer, and maybe even replace Branthwaite as well. Tottenham won the FA Cup on penalties. Chelsea won the Carabao Cup. The Champions League, which we will be finally competing in next season, was won by Barcelona. Arsenal beat Chelsea in the Europa League final, and Spurs won the Conference League. Now, in terms of stats, lads, it's very nice to see Washington and Chimity both hit 20 goals this season. Salah's regen, Hassan also chipped in with 10, but once again, lads, we're really struggling to add goals to our team from midfield, with Engels and Patino only getting 7 and 6. So let's get into the new season. Let's attack the Champions League. Hopefully, we can have a really, really good go at it. And before we enter the new season, lads, one final bit of sad news. The last surviving member of the original Bolton team, Victor Abayajo, leaving the club. His contract is not being renewed. So we've already identified, lads, that we probably need 2 centre-backs in this transfer window, but just look at our budget, £181 million. We could literally sign whoever we wanted in this window. So we have just kicked off the summer transfer window in style, boys, signing one of the best defenders in the Premier League. We have signed Sven Botman from Newcastle for £51.3 million. Botman is 87 rated, and he goes straight into the left side of our defence. Lads, we have just made an absolutely incredible signing. We have signed Wesley Fofana for £9 million plus Jared Branthwaite. What a signing this is. And we've still got £103 million to spend. And I'm looking at that team thinking Engels' position is in jeopardy. I'm thinking about signing one of the best midfielders in the world. Lads, we have just picked up one of the hottest midfield prospects in world football, and we've also made a direct title challenger in Chelsea a lot weaker. We have brought in Warren Zia Amiri for £90 million. Amiri is 86 rated, and just look at them stats, lads. What a player this guy is. And just look at our starting 11, boys. That is absolutely incredible. And that starting 11 could genuinely challenge in the Champions League this season. Now, we've only got £6 million of £181 million transfer budget remaining, but we have got some players listed for transfer, so we might even be able to get one more signing in this summer. And just to let you know, lads, we have brought 3 free agents in because we have got absolutely no squad depth. We have brought in Goncalvo Costa on a free contract. We're going to be converting him to a left midfielder. We've also brought in Hector Lucas and goalkeeper Yannick Fisher. So we've got some transfers to go through, lads. Alfonso Diaz joined Fulham for £11 million. Aaron Brewer joined Spezia for £4 million. Academy graduate Harrison Motors joined Palace on loan, and Yannick Fisher, the free agent we've just brought in, has gone to Inter Milan for £11 million. And our first ever Champions League group is in, lads, and it does not get much harder than this. We've got AC Milan, Porto and Sparta Prague. We're going to have to be at our best to get through that group. So now we're going to simulate forward to January the 1st and see if we got through that Champions League group. So we've arrived at January the 1st, lads, and we are 2nd in the Premier League. We do have a game in hand on Manchester City, but they are 7 points clear. It's also very tight at the top. From 8th to 2nd place, there's literally just 8 points. Now it is time for the moment of truth. Did we get through our Champions League group? Yeah, we did. We finished 2nd. AC Milan absolutely pissed the group. Then they conceded twice in 6 games. We got 3 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, so we're into the knockout stages. And we've got Borussia Dortmund. Wow, that should be an interesting tie. Now the starting 11, lads, is looking incredible. We've had some good growth again from Washington, Illian Jr. and Zaire Emery. Now we have actually got £43 million to spend, but because we're doing so well, I might just save that and use it next season. Lads, I've brought you back just before the end of the season because we are currently in a Champions League semi-final and we won the first leg 3-1. We're going to simulate it together and see if we got to the final. Team is knackered. We draw 2-2. But it doesn't matter. Bolton are in a Champions League final. And oh my God, please give me Manchester United in the final. Please. So lads, we have found out our opponents for the Champions League final, and it is none other than Manchester United Northwest Derby in the Champions League final. I cannot wait for that, but let's run through some of the league standings. We ended up finishing 2nd in the Premier League, which I'm really happy about. 15 points off tabletop in Manchester City though. So in all the rebuilds we've done so far, we're still yet to win the Premier League. But the FA Cup was won by yours truly. 3-0 win against Manchester City at Wembley, and that is actually our first trophy of this career mode. And City won the Carabao Cup, beating Chelsea 2-0. The Europa League was won by Atletico Madrid. They beat Bayern 3-1, and whoever they are won the Conference League. Now, in terms of stats, lads, it's great to see Washington and Chemity both hit 20+ goals again this season. But even more encouragingly, for the first time this season, 2 of our midfielders have got 10+ goals in Hassan and Monsalve. So it is Champions League final time, boys, and this is the team that could potentially make Bolton Wanderers history. And here we go, lads. Washington to get the game on the way. Oh, that could be a red card. Oh, that were a bad tackle from Gueye on Højlund. So thankfully only a yellow card for Gueye. Now, if you've made it this far into the video, you're an absolute genius. You should probably consider hitting that subscribe button. Play it. Zaire Emery, come on. We're away. Come on, we're away. Across the box. Oh, I messed that up. I messed that up. See, I'm for United. Oh, we've won it back. That's a paw from Lamptey. And that's Paul from Milling Jr. What we're doing? Who's injured? Miretti, I'm now. He's a 90 rated centre midfielder, lads. And if United lose a 90 rated centre midfielder, there's definitely improve our chances. Does he have to come off? Miretti is off, lads. Monsalve. Finesse shot. Ah, it's needed save for Ramirez. That's the first shot of the game. In the 30th minute, that says everything you need to know about this final. Shit. Oh, Højlund, that were a chance. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, Christ, that's another big chance for Højlund. Mate, it should be 1-0. There was a pass on then that I just didn't take. Edge of the box, though. Oh, that's a good save by Ramirez. Hassan, come on. Oh, my. Oh, over the post. Oh, my God. Right on the stroke of half-time, Hassan hits the post. And it's going to be 0-0 at half-time, boys. Anthony's in. Oh, what a save. I'd be expecting him to save that, if I'm honest. Shit, don't dive in like that. What a tackle. What a tackle. Because Anthony was away there. Right, we've got to get away here. Illy Jr. He's got the speed. 53 on the clock. He has got the speed. Might have to shoot, though. Gonna have to shoot. Yes, come on. Illy Jr. with a goal. Runs the full length of the pitch on the counter-attack. And Samuel Illy Jr. makes it 1-0 to Bolton Wanderers in this Northwest Derby Champions League final. This is very nice from United. Gueye. Oh, it's a big moment. Big tackle. Oh, no, we're diving into tackles a bit. Oh, what a save. 79 on the clock. This has been one of the closest Champions League finals I've ever played in. Gueye, get across to him. Oh, it's a good ball. What a save. Oh, my God, Sommer. That could have won us the Champions League. Oh, what a tackle from Gueye. No. What a... Oh, my God, Sommer again. Sommer again in the 89th minute. And Illy Jr., come on, lad. Just run. Just run, Illy Jr. The game's done. We've won the Champions League, but can we get a second? Illy Jr. Yes! Come on. Oh, my God. Illy Jr. wraps up the Champions League. What a way to win the Champions League, boys. Sommer makes so many great saves in the second half. And Illy Jr. scores 2 of the exact same type of goals. Sprints the full length of the pitch. And he absolutely cannons this into the top corner. Watch this. Bang. What a finish from Samuel Illy Jr. And there's the full-time whistle, boys. We have won the Champions League with my club, Bolton Wanderers. Get in there. What a final that were. All that is left to do, lads, is watch my Bolton Wanderers team lift the Champions League trophy. Something I'll never, ever see in my lifetime, unfortunately. The trophy is white and navy blue for Bolton Wanderers. There is the main man, Sommer. What a player. The captain as well. And it's only right that he lifts the trophy after dropping a man-of-the-match performance in the Champions League final. Bolton Wanderers are the champions of Europe. So that will end another successful rebuild, boys, on the channel. Remember, if you enjoy these rebuilds, make sure you're liking the videos and subscribing to the channel, as it really helps me out. And I want to try and get to 1,000 subs as soon as possible. Do let me know down below in the comment section who you want me to rebuild next. I'm feeling I might venture out of England for the next one. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.